Welcome back to the Solid Signal podcast for the week of May 18th, 2020. This week we're talking about cellular signal boosters. The cellular signal booster is something I've talked about quite a bit on the Solid Signal podcast, and yet I think that we can agree that it's never been needed as much as it is needed today. I hope that you have a cellular signal booster, and if you don't, that you'll consider buying one. They really are a great choice, something to consider for your home office, especially if you consider that you might be in your home office for a little longer than you expected. If you live somewhere that isn't going to be opening up for the next couple of months, or if your employer is slowly transitioning people back to work, you might want to consider a cellular signal booster to try to help you get through that time. It's a short-term investment that's going to pay long-term dividends. You know, I recently did a video about how cellular signal boosters do improve Zoom calls, and I'll link that at the end of this podcast. And, you know, while I did it a little bit tongue-in-cheek to try to illustrate some of the problems that some of our own Solid Signal folks have while working at home, the truth is that it really does help. Having a strong wireless signal really does help when you're looking at doing teleconferencing. And teleconferencing is a lot of what we're doing right now. So if you don't have good cellular signal booster at home, I really encourage you to get one. And if you're in a business and you're considering bringing your people back, you should make sure there's a good cellular signal booster there. Yes, it's true most of your folks are going to be on Wi-Fi to some extent, but you do want to make sure that the cell phone calls are completely clear. If you have a sales staff that depends on cell phones, if you have people who are using their own devices so that they don't have to be trapped at a desk, especially if you're looking at rearranging things and you might find that you don't have good Wi-Fi signal where you're putting your employees right now, this is the time to be considering a cellular signal booster. A cellular signal booster really does magic if you think about it. It almost instantly takes in signals from outside, analyzes them, amplifies them, and rebroadcasts them. At the same time, it takes in signals from inside, analyzes them, and rebroadcasts them out. It does this for multiple devices, and it does it so fast that nobody on the call can tell that anything has changed. It's pretty amazing when you think about it. I hope that you are considering a cellular signal booster, and I hope that you'll consider one from solidsignal.com. Solidsignal.com has a great selection of cellular signal boosters, the best in the industry, really, and the prices cannot be beat. I'm going to let you in on a little secret that they don't want me to tell you, but we'll keep it just between us. If you're looking for a cellular signal booster, you can look at the website, and sure, you can order one, and I encourage you to do this, or you can call Solid Signal at 877-312-4547. There's this whole policy that a lot of retailers have where they can't advertise their lowest prices, but on the other hand, they can offer them on the phone. Calling solidsignal.com is going to let you deal with price matching issues, make sure that you get the best deal that you can possibly get, and at the same time, you can talk to an expert who really knows what they're doing. We have trained experts in our Novi, Michigan call center and folks who are telecommuting in from the vicinity of our Novi, Michigan call center who are ready to hear you right now, ready to listen to every question that you have and answer all those pre-sales questions so that when the time comes to make that investment, you'll be 100% ready. And I do know it is a bit of an investment. Looking at a cellular signal booster, you know, a lot of times it's the price of a mid-priced phone. It's less expensive than a premium-priced phone, but you've got to understand a cell booster is going to last you as long as 2 or 3 phones. It's going to help every phone in your vicinity. It's really a great investment, especially for businesses which have historically dealt with really poor cell signal. I'll give you one more answer to a question that you're probably thinking about, and it's about 5G. 5G, which by the way does not cause the coronavirus, I'm sorry. 5G is a new technology that gives you faster and faster speeds. Now, for a lot of the country, for example, AT&T is using 5G on some of its existing frequencies, so those cellular signal boosters are just going to work. For T-Mobile customers who get their 5G on the 600 megahertz frequency, no, these boosters are not going to work for that, but on the other hand, they are going to give you the best 4G and LTE service you can possibly get. And let me tell you, it's going to be years before the government approves 5G boosters. I think that you can agree they're probably doing something a little bit more important right now, and they haven't got the time to approve new cellular signal boosters. Things are slowed down in the federal government because I think they've got a lot of work from home people too. So don't worry about immediately finding that your cell booster is obsolete. It is in fact quite future proof, and you're going to find that a cellular signal booster from Solid Signal is going to continue to work for a long time. It will give you great clear voice calls. It will give you nice clear data as fast as you need it to be, and it's going to be an investment that you're glad you made. Now, if you're ready for that cellular signal booster, I'm going to give you that number again. It's 877-312-4547. Folks, I know that this is a little bit more of a hard sell podcast than I normally do, and I try to kind of mix it up a little bit. Remember that the folks at Solid Signal pay for this podcast and also for the Solid Signal blog, and by extension, they pay my paycheck. I'm very grateful to the management at Solid Signal for all the time that they put forward and providing not just informational products to you, but educational and entertaining products, such as the Solid Signal podcast. They don't mind at all when I go completely off topic, but on the other hand, every so often I do have to pay the bills around here. So like and subscribe to this podcast if you are getting it on YouTube. Subscribe to it if you're getting to through a podcast aggregator. Tell your friends about it because, after all, you will be supporting Solid Signal as well. A great company to work for and a great company to work with. That's about it for me and the podcast for this week. I will be back and talk to you again next week.